When you think of the most ruthless, successful pirate in history, you probably picture a man. You picture Blackbeard, Captain Kidd. You picture a chaotic, bloodthirsty outlaw who eventually ends up swinging from a hangman's rope. But you're wrong. The most terrifying pirate fleet to ever sail the oceans wasn't led by a man. It was led by a former sex worker. She commanded over 40,000 outlaws, brought the mighty Chinese empire to its knees, and did the absolute unthinkable. She retired. Rich. This is the story of Ching Shih, the pirate queen who didn't just break the rules, she rewrote them. Born Shishangu in the late 18th century, her early life was far from glamorous. She worked in a floating brothel in the city of Canton. But she was sharp, observant, and possessed a mind for strategy that the men around her completely underestimated. In 1801, her life changed when she was approached by Ching Shih, a notorious and powerful pirate. He didn't just see a beautiful woman, he saw a partner. They married, but this was no traditional union. Ching Shih wasn't just a wife, she was a co-commander. She helped him organize his fleet, negotiate alliances, and expand his territory. But in 1807, Chang Shih drowned during a violent storm. By the unwritten laws of piracy, a fleet without its leader should collapse into chaos. Rival captains would fight to the death for control. The empire would swoop in and crush them. But the pirates of the Red Flag fleet didn't fracture, because Ching Shih was already 3 steps ahead. She didn't just ask for command, she demanded it, and she backed it up with a genius political move. She convinced the rival captains that she was the only one who could keep them from being slaughtered by the government. Once in absolute control, she didn't just lead them, she transformed them from a disorganized mob into a disciplined military machine. And she did it through the code of laws. Ching Shih's laws were brutal, but they were entirely fair. When a pirate stole from the collective treasury, the punishment was death. When a pirate disobeyed a superior's orders, the punishment was death. But her most radical law, if a pirate raped a captive woman, the punishment was immediate execution. She created a system where loyalty was rewarded and cruelty was punished. She wasn't just a bandit. She was a sovereign. Under her rule, the Red Flag fleet grew to over 400 ships and up to 80,000 pirates. They were unstoppable. Naturally, the Qing dynasty panicked. The emperor sent his navy to destroy her. Ching Shih didn't just defeat them, she humiliated them. She sank dozens of government ships and captured hundreds of officials. Desperate, the Chinese government allied with the Portuguese and the British Empire, the most powerful naval force on the planet at the time. They thought this combined might would crush the pirate queen. They were wrong. Ching Shih's fleet outmaneuvered them, ambushed them, and sent the British and Portuguese fleet The emperor was trapped. He couldn't beat her, and he couldn't ignore her. So, the government did the only thing they could do. They offered her a pardon, total amnesty for her and her pirates. But Ching Shih didn't just accept. She dictated the terms. She sailed right into the capital, walked into the governor's tent, and demanded that the highest-ranking officials of the Chinese empire bow to her. And they did. They bowed to a former brothel worker. She kept all her stolen wealth. She negotiated pensions for her captains. And then she did what no pirate in history had ever done. She walked away. She retired to Canton, opened a highly successful gambling house, and lived out the rest of her days in absolute luxury. She died in 1844, at the age of 69, in her own bed. History is written by the victors, but it is shaped by those who refuse to play by the rules. Ching Shih proved that true power isn't just about taking what you want by force. It's about knowing exactly when to walk away with the crown. If you want to uncover more stories about the women history books tried to hide, hit that subscribe button. See you in the next chapter.